up here in the north.
Braveheart?
Yeah.
Sick.
And they will be facing off against our Zerg duo down here. It is Scarlet and Snoot.
They have to be team on fire, obviously, right?
I'm just a little bit sad that Cyan is playing blue rather than Cyan, but sad things happen.
It's the way of the world, man.
We do see that it is indeed a best of one. It's written next to the map. I got a little bit confused because one of the players said, like, even in a best of 3, you guys won't win a map. And it's like, well, are we playing a best of 1? Doesn't really matter how many maps they win in a best of 3, right? It is going to be Hedge first over here for Scarlet and Snoot. They were obviously trolling a little bit on stage, saying that they'd be doing nothing but playing Archon mode. Probably just signed up for this, but I must say, over the months, I've seen a couple of very enjoyable Archon matches. I went to Prague once for the Road to BlizzCon, mostly a Hearthstone and a Heroes and a World of Warcraft event, because we as StarCraft, we had our standalone event. That's how much Blizzard loves us. But I saw a couple of cool Archon matches there. Back then it was Snoot as well, teaming up with TLO, playing against, I believe, Lil Bao and Marine Lord. That was pretty cool.
TBZ.
Yeah.
This is a little different, though. I mean,
yeah.
Off of the back of a Nexus first, like this is going to give a pretty good boost in economy for whatever Mystery and Cyan want to be throwing out.
Yeah,
but I'm just sort of like waiting for that moment for the double Stargate to go down.
Just waiting for those oracles,
dude, I'm
man.
ready.
And I wonder what Snoot and Scarlet are going to do, actually, because they're not putting a gas down, and that's interesting. Like, it shows they really want to build their economy like crazy. I mean, that's quite powerful against the Nexus first. You know, the Adepts can't get there too early on. But I am very curious exactly what Scarlet and Snoot want to do. I mean, if you think about these two players, like their styles, you're like, you both like to build a lot of drones, defend, spread, creep, and then win in the late game. So when you've got two players contributing to that, I really do think they're just going to stick to that sort of solid defensive game plan. Whereas it's going to be really interesting for Jieshi or Mystery and Cyan over here. I think they're going to kind of get to that mid-game phase. And they're going to start exploding into multi-prong aggression, microing every Adept, you know, really pristinely, trying to do everything they can.
Yeah, we should probably verify that Jieshi is indeed Mystery. He just goes through life as Mystery in the foreign scene. There we do see a very, very quick Stargate. I mean, I don't think you can get a Stargate quicker than that. They got it before the Adept, they got it before the Mothership Core, they got it, well, maybe slightly after Warp Gate technology, but that's the only thing. So if you go Nexus first, you will never get a Stargate quicker than these boys got it.
I'm just waiting for number 2 to get planted down. I mean, it's going to be an Oracle, obviously. If there's anything else,
they don't have gas for that though, right now.
Oh, he's spending the gas on the Mothership Core.
Yeah.
Sad.
But I mean, even if he wouldn't, then he wouldn't have
sad.
that money to, or he wouldn't have the right amount of gas to start an Oracle immediately and a second Stargate.
I mean, okay,
he
in
might
that
still
case,
get it eventually.
Phoenix likes to open things up, perhaps.
No, I think this will be an Oracle opening. No, actually not. Surprising.
Yeah, like, just feels so weird, you know, when you've been seeing these guys for the past 2 years, and they're just doing this like this super nothing makes sense sort of builds, getting away with it. But Phoenix into third base here from.
There we go.
So fast. That is so fast, by the way. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Like, if I play Phoenixes, I'm happy if I can get a third base down at 4 minutes and 5 seconds or something like. Then you feel like, all right, it's pretty greedy, but I should be able to get away with it. I mean, they will be able to get away with it because both Scarlet and Snoot, I mean, obviously because they're playing as fun, decided to go gasless over here. So, you know, they don't really have to worry about any sort of aggression whatsoever, but it's still a very, very, very greedy opening by the Chinese Protosses.
And the Phoenix does clear up an Overlord there. Creep starting to push out. Scarlet and Snoot just adding on that third and fourth gas right now, starting to power up that economy pretty hard. The Phoenix is just going to clean up these Overlords. So we were a little bit wrong in the predictions. They aren't going for the super micro-intensive units just yet. Just looking to really control things and actually play a surprisingly macro-heavy game is Jieshi and Cyan.
Yeah, like if they're going to be going into like the macro here, just fairly standard in terms of composition as well. I don't know, man. Like my perception about these two guys might be about to change drastically as Robo is going to be planted down last after here for Scarlet and Snoot. So I mean they're going to be accessing that tech shortly. But for now, just generally a very passive game from both of our teams.
Yeah, very surprising.
Even though like Phoenixes are not oracles, the Phoenixes are definitely at their best when they are being controlled all the time. And it doesn't matter how good you are with Phoenix. You know, I play Phoenix pretty much every game against Zerg because I find it a really enjoyable unit.
Oh.
But there will always be moments where you gotta focus at home, right? Where you gotta throw down your forges or gotta build that nexus, you gotta build your pylons. On those moments, your Phoenix are inactive. If you play Archon mode, these Phoenixes in theory can always be active.
Absolutely. They did deny the 4th base for a little bit there, but Scarlet and Snoot not letting themselves be delayed any longer. Now already with a Hydralisk down on the way, Zergling speed and +1 range, and continuing to drone absolutely relentlessly. And funnily enough, they don't have a lot of map vision. They just don't look very afraid right now. Scarlet and Snoot just seem to be building drones, and relying purely on Queens to defend.
Yeah, I mean, the Protosters just didn't really have that much to offer. Ooh, one Phoenix taking a lot of damage. Won't get picked off, though. But with just 2 adepts, there's only so much you can do, right? And going up to 3 bases as quickly as they did as Protoss is awesome for your economy, but it also limits your options to be aggressive. Then again, this is a show match, so maybe they already went over this and they'll be like, you know what? No rush, 10 minutes, all right? Let's do it.
I'll take it a little easy here. But second Robo is on the way for our Protoss. And 5th hatchery going down here actually for Snoot and Scarlet. Phoenix just finding a drone or queen here and there. It's going to be quite nice, but already, like you mentioned before, like that creep is actually halfway across the map.
It's going to cover the entire map here on Dust Towers. I'm pretty damn sure.
Like within the next few minutes.
Yeah.
And we are seeing nice pickups, even stealing some Hydras, but finally one Phoenix does go down there. Cyan and Jieshi, though, continuing to be annoying. This 4th base just not getting any use just yet. It's pretty much a macro hatchery right now. While Scarlet and Snoot are looking like they want to tech very hard, going for an infestation pit, going for a 5th base, the Phoenixes are actually doing a very good job of keeping them in check.
Yep, 5 extra gateways go down as well at home, and that Templar Archives is being wiped in, so they will be able to get a couple of Archons soon. We see Charge being researched. They never decided to go for the Adept upgrade or something like that, only made those 2 Adepts early on to deal with links or potentially snipe drones. But other than that, sorry, Sonny got hiccups, guys. It's starting to look really good, I think, for the Chinese Protosters. Like, they did a reasonable amount of damage. As long as they can get an answer for Lurkers in time, I don't think their position is bad at all.
No, I mean, they've maintained a really good number of Phoenix, and they can definitely come into play in the later engagements here. You pick up those Lurkers, take them out of action. And the Immortal count as well here, I mean, it's going to be very healthy. +2 started as well, so I mean, like you mentioned, Rotti, they're just keeping the Zergs back and taking a 4th Nexus behind this.
The drone count, though, big.
I was having a giggle here, just silently trying not to interrupt you guys, because it's just like, yeah, this is Snoot and Scarlet playing, guys. We got 90 drones.
And the three trademark infestors as well.
Exactly, he's going to go 3 infestors. I mean, it looks like they literally just want to play Lurker, Infestor, Hydraling with an unlimited economy behind it. Like, there's no Hive on the way. It's just like, we're going to just rally these units, have fun landing Fungals. We've got creep everywhere. And this is going to be such a monstrous train of Zerg coming across the map. But keep in mind, because there's so many workers, you can't really have that big an army supply.
I would really go, by the way, I would definitely go Disruptors in Archon and just be like, hey, at a certain point in the game, when the harassment is done and all this is done, you've got one job, and that's maybe a Warp Prism and Disruptor control. And then you should really be able to get sick hits on your Disruptors.
Oh, Swarm hosts in the production.
Yeah, they said it. I mean, they said it, guys. They said it. So gotta stay true. You can't just make blind claims in something as important as this.
No, I mean, everyone wants those plushy throwing rights, and honestly, this is actually just really cool. But right now, the army supply is actually up for Jieshi and Cyan. They're coming with a big Immortal Chargelet army right now.
I'm gonna clean up the creep as well. That's very nice, at least. So this piece of artwork will be destroyed.
Yeah, they're hitting the 5th hatchery at the same time, though. As they are cleaning up that creep, the right-hand side of the choke has been completely locked down. But a ton of Lurkers here are going to be able to keep the Protoss back for now.
Oh my god, those 2 Locusts just ripping through the Zealots on that hatchery, but the hatchery is just barely going to go down in the picture.
No, it's not!
It survives with about 10 hit points left over. That is absolutely
Oracle
insane.
should go in. The Oracle should go in for the kill. Oh, damn it. Dropped Revelation instead. That is... Wow. 8 HP left on this hatchery. By the way, that is too many Lurkers to break for just Zealots and Immortals. Like, on a certain point, it doesn't really matter how many Zealots and Immortals you have. You will not be able to walk in a crazy amount of Lurkers. And it seems that Mystery and Cyan agree with that, so they actually go for Storm and also drop the Fleet Beacon.
Oh my, we're going to late game, baby. And that is such a crazy part of the game. The Chargelet counterattack coming in here. Mystery and Cyan continuing to posture around. Unfortunately, setting up the Warp Prism in range of the Spore Crawler, and those Zerglings are going to get home quickly to defend.
Yeah, big warp in though. +2 available to these Zealots, so they're going to be shredding these Zerglings coming for the defense. At the same time, pushing at the front here, getting a couple of these Swarmers, but is that going to matter? I mean, Lurkers are already in position. A bunch of Lurkers have already spawned, and they're going to be swatting away this Protoss army for now.
See a couple of Zealots as well over here in the third base. That Warp Prism being very annoying. Of course, a big problem with Swarmos, and one of the reasons why we don't see the unit super often is that they eat up quite a bit of supply.
Oh,
And
nice
now,
pickups.
Yeah, very well done. A couple of Phoenixes flying in, getting a couple of these lurkers out of the battle for now. And of course, the Immortals should be able to finish them off. Wow, Mystery and Cyan looking very good so far, getting a kill on this 5th base. Well done.
And keep in mind, they've got an 83 probe
Oh,
economy
gets the
support.
mothership.
Oh, wow. The army should probably retreat right now, but there's charge lots in the back face once again, ripping stuff up. We had that in the picture-in-picture for a moment. Meanwhile, Zealot's still on the natural as well as the 3rd. There's a 20 probe lead for Protoss, and they're shredding the army, they're shredding the economy.
Wow.
My god, these Chinese players are putting on a show for us right now.
Oh yeah, guys, but at the same time, all of this going on, we've got a bunch of Locusts actually ripping down this Nexus. Look at that DPS,
Hey.
that's absolutely mad.
Oh, they're going to go hide as well.
I like it.
That's really cute.
What's
That's really
the
cute.
cooldown? It's like 1 minute now on the Locust, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to take quite some time.
Well,
to
I mean, it used
get
to
those
be a
back.
minute. Like right now, I think since the clock has changed, I don't think it's one.
Ah, so maybe
real
like 40
minute.
seconds?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. But 2 more Stargates going to go down, and this is where we begin. I mean, I hope to see a lot of Oracles, but it's sort of out of place at this point in the
Yeah.
game.
At this stage of the game, it's so actually hard for Zerg to win. Like against the Tempest army, if they manage to get out like 8 Tempests and a whole bunch of Storm and Archons and Cannons defending like 5 bases, it's going to be really hard for Scarlet and Snoot to defend it. But hey, if there's 2 Zerg players who understand how to micro that late game Zerg army using Vipers, Infestors, Corruptors, Broodlords, it's going to be these 2 players.
Definitely some of the better foreign Zergs out there. I also think Cerro is very good in a super late game, and Petraeus used to be very, very good, I think, when it comes to like Queens and Infestors at the same time. But Snoot has always been up there, and Scarlet as well. I mean, Scarlet kept her Ultralisk alive forever in 2013 already, I think, back then. In some of those super old WCS matches we saw. Or 2012 even it was.
Well, again, just a couple of Zealots freeing up some supply here for the Protoss as they are now getting that mothership. Robobay also being added in 4 DTs together with the Zealots being warped in actually at the 3rd base. Nice abduct,
Wow.
gets the War Prism, but this hatchery will fall. And they're going to be seeing everything, catching either those Broodlords, these Lurkers, and they know exactly what they're up against.
Yeah, very
nice
powerful
catch.
play though. Look at this. So, I mean, we've got such a great ground killing army from Zerg. You got Lurkers, you got Broodlords, Infestors, Vipers, but against lots of Tempests, against a Mothership, we've got those air upgrades coming on the way. I mean, this Protoss army is going to be getting very fierce.
Going to get the double War Prism action going as well, so they're going to be able to hit a lot of areas at the same time. And I mean, you hit the Zerg when they're out across the map, that's going to be really tough for them to deal with.
Phoenix is continuing to clear out map vision. These Locusts coming in. Ah, is Immortal Barrier enough? It is. Oh, the Focus Fire on the High Templar does go down. And they unburrow. The Observer is there. You've been spotted. You've been caught out. Those Swarm hosts going to go down very quickly.
Yeah, against the Immortals, it's really funny when Zerg units have that upgrade, you know, either +1 or +2 carapace. Phoenixes, if they don't have any upgrade, they start just doing 0 damage, you know, because they attack twice. Whenever Phoenixes lift up a Queen with +2 carapace, it's very sad. Like, they just, like, wail away forever, and the Queen just never, ever, ever dies. It's funny how that works. I mean, definitely, normally you would say that this is a very good position for our blue Protoss Archon, but we know how scary super late game Zerg can be as well. I love the potential of Nidus networks with Zerglings and Adrenal clans. Even when there are Dark Templars out there, Lings are so fast, and especially Lings these days, they're so powerful. Could definitely make the difference. That's a good fungo, excellent. Parasitic Bomb as well. Love the combination of both of those 2 spells.
And
Wow.
every single Phoenix is going to go down, so I mean, that's a bit of the mobile air gone here for the Protoss. And I mean, one thing with the with this sort of army, I mean, it's just very immobile.
Yeah.
But so is the Zerg.
Absolutely, but that army can pick away. It does have the superior range. The real potential money unit is the Vipers, though, for Zerg. Look at this. There's still so much ground in this Protoss army. Keep in mind, the Zerg army still has Lurkers. There's Broodlords, I'm quite sure they're up now. We've got, you know, the Vipers and Infestors. It's a ground-killing army. I don't think a lot of these Immortals are useful anymore.
Don't forget about the Swarm.
They should really be able to attack air. There should be an upgrade for like 500 to make them anti-air as well.
So you can so you can fire at the same time as they're like moving.
Exactly.
Oh. I loved it. I actually very recently had a game on Lateral Crest where I played against Nidus Networks and a couple of Swarmos as well, and it was super hard to deal with, believe it or not. Like, maybe it's just me. A couple of Adducts being used, and these 2 Immortals will get picked up immediately, but I agree with everything you said, Pig. the time in the game for Immortals have kind of passed already.
Yeah. Of course, an Ultralisk tech switch can be scary, but they don't really attack up. So when you've got photon cannons everywhere and a mass air army, it's really not too bad. So we are going to see more Stalkers, more DTs coming in though for Mystery and Scion. So keep in mind, they don't really have a Golden Armada yet. Yeah, you got this core of 6 or 7 Tempests, but there's no massive Void Rays, there's no massive Tempests, there's no massive air army yet, there's no carriers.
Void
and they
Rays.
still don't have very good air upgrades. +2 is about to kick in. But, you know, that's not the ultimate air army by any means. And it looks like these Nidus Worms, Snoot and Scarlet, going to try and start picking off the bases from behind, coming in from different angles.
It would actually be really sick if like, they used the Nidus to split up some of their units and then, you know, sandwich the Protoss army. Because, I mean, they're kind of stuck. And Lurkers, of course, can still shoot up if you've got that high ground vision. But, I mean, for now... Oh! Did they...
They used it with Changelings, very smart. It's like I got vision with Changelings and put in the Nidus.
How did that...
Did they just launch the Swarm Host Locusts out of the Nidus without unloading them? I think they did.
If you could do that Super 6, a nice Storm to feedback.
You saw that as well, right?
Yeah, I was like, there's just like Locust 6.
TLO,
As far as
quickly,
I know,
tweet at us. I'm sure you know how this mechanic works.
I think they popped them in and out, to be honest. I really think that they already had them there. Because as far as I know, you always have to unload the Swarmers.
Yeah. Maybe we're just blind.
Yeah,
either way, this counterattack is just coming in from all sides. I think Snoot and Scarlet need to give up this ground. This cliff is just too advantageous for Mystery and Scion right now. They're just getting free pickoffs.
I mean, how do you engage into this though? It's going to go for the abduct.
Ooh,
1, 2, 3, 4, but there's just not enough damage really to, you know, take these down. It's going to find 1 or 2, but the Psy Storms will push him away. And again, they're just sort of in a very sticky situation.
Look at that Protoss.
They don't have enough NTR. Like, even if they abduct once, they can't kill the Tempest immediately. They need multiple abducts with just a single kill on the Tempest, and that's not the way you want this as Zerg, obviously. Like, where are the Hydralisks? Normally, there should be a couple of Hydralisks below this. There they are. It's kind of far back.
Yeah, and so many Infestors, Vipers, Hydras going down each time they kill a Tempest or two. So, at best, it's trading evenly after the Tempests have already picked away a bunch of Lurkers, picked away a base, picked away the static. 15 more drones have gone down from the harassment. The Swarmer is continuing to try to do damage here. But Scarlet and Snoot, they're just not living up to their threat earlier. These Swarmers aren't really doing much.
I think they maybe underestimated Mystery and Scion a little bit here. These two Chinese Protosses, I haven't seen that much of them lately. Like, I know that they were always scary and often very aggressive, a little similar to Jim, you know, love two-base aggression and stuff. I didn't know they had it in them to play phenomenal super late game. Maybe the fact that this is Archon mode actually helps them a little bit, because normally they're maybe uncomfortable with this mass air army when it comes to Tempest and upgrades. But actually playing very good so far. Of course, you can say Scarlet and Snoot are messing around a little bit, but everyone is always trying to win, show match or not, you always try to win.
I mean, that being said though, right now these Nidus Worms are actually going to be going down all over the place. One in the main base with those changelings, but of course this Protoss army outside their doorstep.
I think that's one mistake that Mystery and Scion have made. They're maxed out.
Oh,
and I don't
yeah,
think
they can't actually warp in.
No, I don't think you ever want to be maxed out in this phase in the game. The Immortals are going to die very quickly though, so that will at least free up some supply for maybe defensive Dark Templars or something similar like that. Is there enough anti-air left though for Scarlet and Snoot? Oh, Mothership getting abducted. That's nice. That's a very expensive unit.
Oh, the second abduct into the forest of spores. The Mothership core just gets shattered. Meanwhile, the infested Terrans in the main is still tearing everything apart. A few Lurkers and Hydras here as well. Oh, no detection of the mass DTs. It's tearing everything apart. Oh, beautiful fungal. There's no more energy though. No. There's no more energy. All these Zerg units are going to go down. Everything trying to burrow to hide, but it's only a matter of time before an Observer gets out and cleans that up.
Still though, it's been a very expensive loss for Protoss. Lost a lot of probes, and I guess losing probes in this phase in the game is completely acceptable, but losing infrastructure is never nice, and wiping in 7, 8, 9 Dark Templars, that cost a lot of gas, and it may look like Scion and Mystery are very rich, but they're really not all that rich, because they only have 1100 gas, and how many times haven't we seen a Protoss player being left with nothing but Zealots against Swarmos? Pretty much every single Heart of the Swarm game ever.
Yep, it gets to that point, you know, it's like, hey, can we do charge lot counterattacks again? Are they still going to work?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, sorry, man, it's probably not going to happen. I mean, they've been very annoying. They've picked away the economy back here. But meanwhile, 45 drone economy for Scarlet and Snoot. They're hemmed in. They never managed to get out either Mutalisks or Corruptors to get rid of the Warp Prisms. And these dual Warp Prisms on either side of the map have kept them pinned back. And they've just done damage over and over again. Look at this. Just 5 charge lots coming in on a bunch of exposed Lurkers. Going to take out 2 or 3 Lurkers very powerful counterattacks, and this is just constantly keeping Scarlet and Snoot back. Look at them struggling to rebuild drones at 20 minutes into the game. It's going to be a real test for them to get back their footing here.
They're going to try to pick off this pylon, but not in time. 3 Dark Templars will finish up warping in, and these Dark Templars actually able to get 2 Hydralisk over here as well. And indeed, Scarlet and Snoot really starting to become pretty damn broke. Only 54 drones remaining, but how many mining bases are we really looking at? I'd say 2 at best.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Protoss on the other side of the map, they've got 1, 2, 3 in next side there in full operation. And Scarlet and Snoot, like you guys said, mainly been on the defense here for this game. We only saw that Nidus go down, and they didn't really achieve all that much, though, because, I mean, at this point, Mystery and Cyan, they've rebuilt a decent bank there in that gas, but for the first time now, Mutas to actually
Finally.
War Prism. Yeah, this is going to be so nice.
Just a small squad of Mutas. They can also, you know, force out some Phoenixes, but the Tempests come and they do save that War Prism. There's still one active on the north side of the map as well, trying to Nidus to this gold base, trying desperately to get up some economy is Scarlet and Snoot. But look at this, right now they're at half the army supply, a huge charge lot Archon Tempest army, a bit of a ramshackle Protoss army, but against what, a few Vipers, a handful of Lurkers and Spore Crawlers, this is going to be more than enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of Zealots over here though, and Zealots obviously not that great against Lurkers. I mean, they can be, it all comes down to the engagement, but it's not the ideal Protoss unit out there. And most of the Immortals have disappeared, so Mystery and Sign still got to be a tiny bit careful.
And the Vipers there abducting the Tempest, but there's just literally nothing to kill them with. Drones coming off here, are they going to fight? Yeah, there's just like literally nothing left for Scarlet and Snoot.
Well, I mean, it's 82 army supply. They've got a little bit scattered all over the place, and 11 Lurkers is still something you kind of have to respect. You got to be a little bit careful here if you're Mystery and Cyan. Obviously, I love their position. They're maxed out right now. They are still mining more money as well. If they are able to take out this base, then I think it's truly over.
Oh, Spores, Transfusers going down on the static defense. The Lurkers doing damage, but the Archon's just absorbing it, taking it in their stride. The Tempests having a face-off with the Overseers on the backside of the battle, rather than helping out. A few abducts going in. There's just not enough anti-air here.
Ruthless doing a little bit on the other side of the map, but doesn't seem like it's going to be enough.
Hatchery is going to end up falling. Even these Archons actually, or rather these Lurkers, not burrowing, so they're going to go down. And a massive warp in here, some reinforcing Zealots. And I mean, down 60 supply to 175. I think this is going to be all she wrote, guys.
So there is Chinese success after all today. It may not have been Tutming in his first series of the day against Drogo, but Mystery and Cyan putting up a good clinic over here of how to play Protoss in Arkham.
That is so sick. The disco ball. You forgot your / Jieshi. Come on, man.
That's pretty fun. They seem to be having a lot of fun with it. I love the Oracle dance. Good old disco ball. That's what it's all about. Wow, his name is Gentle Probe. That's a great name.
Yeah, look at this Nidus Worm trying to take the Gold Hatch. 3 queens down there. Scarlet and Snoot fighting to the bitter end. This last Lurker is just miserably hanging out here. Hey, I've got enough detection now, guys. I just don't have anything to kill your units with.
Oh, the Observer died there to the Spore Crawler.
So maybe there's a chance to come back, guys.
As long as there's a Lurker, I like to say there's a chance.
Unfortunately, we've still got those overpowered assimilators in the south side of the map, denying Scarlet and Snoot's queens from taking that base.
It's like to build a real army over here.
Disco ball.
A real party, I should say. Party and an army. Oracles represent both.
This is what we call playing with your food, guys. This is what your parents have told you when you're at dinner as a kid. Eat your food, don't play with it. But right now, bit of a Chinese victory going on. Jieshi and Cyan just having some fun. The Zealots dancing in and out of those lurker hits.
Half of those Zealots were fake, by the way. Half of them were changelings. It gets really confusing. No, look at that one. Oh, it went through. Oh, well, great game by Mystery and Cyan, as it seems that the 2 Chinese Protoss players will be victorious in this Archon show match.
Very nicely played. Like, they definitely surprised me with the approach of style that they had for this one. Like, because I was really expecting some super crazy cheesy play, and instead it was just super solid.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, they took their time, went up to a very strong army immediately, realized that their opponents were very greedy. All the overseers are going to go down as well before this game absolutely ends. GG is called. The Chinese Protoss Archon duo will reign supreme over here. But no, I totally agree with what you said. Not what we expected. We thought it was going to be madness with Adepts and Oracles, but they went for the slow and steady wins the race approach, and it did.
You know what, Rotty? Now, if only we could see the Chinese Protoss play like that in 1v1.
I know. I mean, we can see that they have it in them. They just need to work, I guess, a little bit on that multitasking.